Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Heronbrook Farm Kitchen. It is fantastic to have you here, as always, and today we're going to be making chocolate brownies. So let's talk about chocolate brownies. They are just the most amazing and delicious chocolatey snack. You can pick them up in your fingers. Kids love them, adults love them. These ones are a little bit lighter than a traditional American brownie. So please, I know we've got a lot of subscribers in America. Please don't leave me loads of comments saying they're not quite a traditional brownie. I know that, I'm confessing that right at the beginning. They are slightly lighter, but nevertheless, you've got the classic brownie top, slightly cracking as it gets cut, and then this dark, rich, beautiful, chewy inside. And then you can just see a few walnuts there and some chunks of chocolate. It's absolutely delicious. You're going to find it incredibly easy to make this at home, and once you've made it, you're going to absolutely love it. So let's jump in and take a look at the ingredients. Okay, let's talk about the ingredients for these amazing, delicious chocolate brownies. You're going to need 4 eggs. You're going to need some caster sugar, 400 grams. We're going to use 95 grams of plain flour and 80 grams of cocoa powder. And we like Bourneville, it just seems to work better than the others. You're going to need quite a lot of unsalted butter, 200 grams, that's nearly a whole pack. And then quite a lot of walnuts. These ones are shelled, we're going to chop them up before they go in, and we need 50 grams of those. And finally, you're going to need some dark chocolate, chopped, 40 grams. So let's jump in and get it all combined. Okay then, so like a lot of our other recipes, all of the action happens in the stand mixer, so I'm going to do it right here. I've broken the 4 eggs just straight into the bowl of the stand mixer there. There's no need to beat them or anything like that. And I'm going on top of that with all of that caster sugar. And then we're just going to clip it in place. And I'm going to use the K-beater with the silicone edge. And I'm going to mix these up slowly at first, and then a little bit faster until they are nicely combined. And what I'm looking for here is for these eggs to go really light and fluffy, which they're just starting to do now. And you'll know they're done because they will actually change colour. They're quite yellowy orange at the moment from the yolk, and they'll go a lot paler when they're ready. So as you can see, they're starting to go pale. We're getting a lot more volume in there now. We're going on quite a fast speed. Not as fast as it will go, but quite a fast speed. So I'll let that just run for another 30 seconds or so, and then we can add the other ingredients. Okay, so we'll get that turned off. And what I like to do now is actually take it off the machine. And so what I've done, I've put the flour and the cocoa powder into the one bowl because basically they're the same consistency. And I'm just going to sieve those in straight on top of our egg mixture. It will go through. The cocoa powder tends to be a little bit more tricky to get through. But if you just keep working it with a metal spoon, and it will go through eventually. You always spill a bit. Just get those last bits through now with the back of the spoon. There we go. So we get this back on the machine now. Get the K-beater back on. And now we're just going to mix this on a slowish speed and incorporate all that flour and cocoa powder into the mixture. It does take a while because the cocoa powder and flour are extremely dry, but if you keep persevering, it will go in. You can see that starting to come together now into a beautiful, rich, dark batter. We'll just turn the speed up a little bit. That looks absolutely amazing. Okay, so you just want to wait for that to go a little bit paler, which it's done now. And next thing I'm going to do with the machine still running at about this sort of speed, I'm going to go in with the butter which I've melted. So So again, this can splash up and make a bit of a mess, but we'll get this in now, a little bit at a time. There we go, get all of that in. Now it does look like you want to scrape down the sides. To be honest, I don't bother. I mix it like this, and then right at the end, before I put it in the tin, I just have a good scrape round and give it a stir and make sure everything's incorporated. So that's looking beautiful now. As you can see, a lovely rich batter. So quite simply now, with it still running, I'm going to go in with the walnuts, which we've chopped, and with the chocolate, and just leave it for a few seconds for those to mix in. And that's it, couldn't be simpler. So just drop the K-beater in, and we will give that a little scrape off with a spatula. Make sure we get all the goodness off and out the way. And then, as I said earlier, I'm just going to go around the sides with the spatula and just scrape down any bits that didn't get mixed in. Ever so easy. And now all we're going to do is pour it into the tin. So I'll just get that out of the fridge. So here's the tin I prepared earlier. I just greased it with some butter and lined it with baking parchment. I'll put the dimensions of the tin in the recipe in the link below as usual. And all we're going to do now is pour it in. Get those last bits out. No easy way to do this without getting sticky and messy, but it is delicious chocolate, so not a massive problem. So there we go. So the oven's been preheating for about 20 minutes. I've just turned it off because, as you know, it's very noisy at 170 degrees. I'm just going to go and wash my hands. Okay, so just to level it up, all you need to do is just tip it. It's a very thick solution. You probably don't want to try and level it off with a palette knife or anything like that. It will level itself out naturally. You just want to get it into the corners like this. You can be confident it's not going to fall out. There we go. Absolutely perfect. So I'm going to get this straight in the oven. So that's it, middle of the oven, 170 degrees, 30 minutes, and we're done. So 30 minutes is just enough time for a quick coffee, and then I'm going to tackle all this washing up, of which, as you can see, there's a lot. Okay, time has just gone off. Let's get it out and have a look. Wow. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Got the classic brownie crack around the edge. You don't want this to be overbaked. It needs to be still very soft on the top because you want it gooey inside. So we're just going to leave this now to cool in the tin for about an hour, and then we'll pull it out onto the rack and allow it to cool completely, and then we'll cut into it and we can all take a look. Okay, so here it is. It's sunk back like brownies do. It looks absolutely amazing. It smells fantastic. I wish you could smell it. It's been cooling for about 45 minutes to an hour. It's nice and cool now. I can pick it up with my hands. All I'm going to do, I'm just going to get it out of the tin and onto the rack. So I've left this bit here a little bit long, so I've got something to hold, and we just pull it out like that, and I'm going to leave it to completely cool for another hour or so, and then we will come back, cut into it and take a look. So I'll see you in an hour. So last thing before we cut into the brownie is we just need to get the paper off. So the easy way to do that is to get another cooling rack or a board or something like that. Just flip it over, and then you can just carefully peel the paper off. Like that, and then repeat the process. Just need to be careful not to crush it. There we go. Beautiful. So I'm going to get this on a board and then we'll cut into it. Okay, so it's on the board now. Let's take a look. Can't wait. So it's quite dense, slightly cracking on top, which is exactly what you want. Slightly dry on the surface. So it's cut through there. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Slightly crumbly top. Lovely dark, rich, gooey centre. And it smells absolutely amazing. So if you love chocolate, you're going to love these brownies. They are, as I said at the beginning, a little bit lighter than a traditional American brownie. We absolutely love them, and I'm sure you will as well. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed making it, and I'll see you on the next one.